The market square of Valeth Prime was always bustling. Vendors shouted over one another. Neon signs glowed with tempting promises, and the smell of roasted meats mingled with engine fuel from nearby landing pads. But whenever Sira walked through the square, the air grew cold. Conversations paused, eyes turned, and bodies shifted away. She pulled her hood tighter, her long ears pressed low against her head. The markings on her skin, once intricate swirls of azure that showed her lineage, now glowed faintly with the telltale stain of exile. No one wanted to be near a marked one. The shame followed her like a shadow. She had been stripped of her place among her people, cast out for defying the elders. It didn't matter that she had only spoken the truth, that their leaders were selling the weak to the Dominion in secret treaties. The elders declared her a liar, and the punishment for dishonor was the mark. From then on, she was nothing. She tried to buy bread at a stall, but the vendor sneered. "We don't serve your kind here." Her stomach growled, but she turned away without protest. Better hunger than humiliation. As she drifted through the crowd, avoiding stares, she heard laughter behind her. A group of young merchants mocked her openly, whispering cruel jokes about the disgraced one who dared challenge the elders. Her pace quickened, her throat tightening, her eyes burning with unshed tears. That was when she stumbled literally into him. A human. He steadied her before she fell. "Easy there." She blinked up at him, startled. His hair was a messy brown, his jacket worn but clean. His eyes, deep, steady human eyes, did not hold contempt. Only concern. She stammered, stepping back. "Forgive me." "Nothing to forgive," he said. His gaze swept over her trembling form, her empty hands, the way the crowd parted around them with distaste. "You're not okay." Her lips pressed tight. "It is none of your concern." "Maybe," he said softly, "but I'm making it my concern." His name was David. She learned this when he followed her out of the square, ignoring the curious stares of those who wondered why a human would lower himself to walk beside a marked one. He spoke casually, as if her shame mark meant nothing. "You got somewhere to stay?" he asked.
"I do," she lied.
His eyes flicked toward the rain-streaked alleys where she had been sleeping the last few nights. "That's not much of a place to stay." Her ears twitched in anger. "Why do you care?" "Because I've been there," he said. His voice carried no pity, only truth. "Back on Earth, I was one step away from sleeping in the streets myself. Someone helped me out when I needed it. Figured I should do the same for someone else." Her heart hammered. No one had spoken to her like that since before her exile. "Still," she whispered, "if you help me, you'll be shamed too." He shrugged. "Guess I'll survive." David's quarters were small, tucked in the back of a dockyard complex where he worked as a mechanic. The space was cluttered with tools and half-repaired engines, but it was warm, and it smelled of oil and metal instead of mold. He gestured toward a cot in the corner. "You can stay here. No rent, no strings. Just maybe share a meal now and then." "I'm terrible at cooking." Her throat tightened. "You trust me?" He smiled faintly. "I trust that you're more than the mark they painted on you." For the first time in months, Sira slept without fear. Days bled into weeks. David rose early to work in the docks, repairing freighters and shuttles. Sira insisted on helping, eager to repay him. Her hands, though delicate, proved deft with tools. She quickly learned the intricacies of human machinery, her memory sharp and her patience steady. "You're a natural," David said one afternoon as she tightened a coil.
She almost laughed.
"My people said I was only good for speaking out of turn." His eyes softened. "Maybe your people were wrong." The words struck deeper than he could know. Still, the shame lingered outside his workshop. Whenever Sira ventured into the market, whispers followed. Some hurled insults outright, spitting at her feet. She endured it, shoulders heavy, until one day David walked beside her. When a merchant sneered, "Filth doesn't belong here," David stepped forward. "Funny. I thought it was the merchants who reeked of greed." The merchant flushed with outrage, but David didn't flinch. He simply took Sira's hand and led her away. Her heart pounded. "You should not defend me. It will only make them hate you too." He glanced at her, calm and unyielding. "Let them. Their hate says more about them than it does about you." Her eyes stung with tears she hadn't allowed herself to shed. One evening, as rain pattered against the workshop roof, Sira cooked. She used what little they had, grain, dried herbs, a bit of protein stock, and transformed it into a fragrant stew. David tasted it and nearly dropped his spoon. "That's incredible." A laugh escaped her, small but genuine. "It is only stew." "No," he said firmly. "It's life, warmth, comfort." He grinned. "You could make a fortune with food like this." Her chest tightened. She had been nothing but shame for so long. But here, in this tiny space with this human, she felt almost whole again. The breaking point came when two dockhands cornered her one night. "Hey," marked one. One sneered. "Heard you've been freeloading off that human. Bet he doesn't know what you did to get cast out." Her claws curled, her pulse racing. Before she could respond, David's voice cut through the alley. "Back off." The dockhands turned, laughing. "Or what human? You'll fight us for her? She's nothing." David didn't hesitate. "She's not nothing to me." The fight was brief. Humans were smaller than most Valeth dockhands, but David fought with a stubborn fire, refusing to yield until the bullies backed down. Breathing hard, he turned to Sira. "You okay?" She stared at him, trembling. "Why would you risk yourself?" His voice was steady. "Because everyone deserves someone who'll stand with them, even when the world says they don't." Her shame mark burned, but for the first time, it felt powerless. Weeks turned into months. Together, they transformed the workshop into something more, a place not just for engines, but for meals shared, laughter found, and dignity restored. Sira began selling her cooking to dockworkers, and soon lines formed for her stews and breads. Whispers still followed her, but now they were changing. No longer scorn, but curiosity, respect. And through it all, David stood beside her, never asking her to be anything but herself. Years later, when travelers spoke of Valeth Prime, they told of the human mechanic and the exiled cook who built something together in the shadows of shame. Sira never forgot the stares, the insults, the weight of her exile. But she also never forgot the moment David had said the words that saved her. "You're not nothing to me." And in that truth, she found her home.